Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm just pulling out. This is probably going to be one of my last videos in the car because I haven't read it yet, but somebody has shared that there's been a report posted about filming while driving. So I am really interested to read it because I just thought I'd just share a couple of things because obviously I have recorded a few videos while driving, and one of the things it is, if anybody has ever popped their phone on to talk into their phone, whether it's to speak to somebody, to record a video, or whatever it may be, to listen to an audio, the feeling is the same. And to be honest, when you're driving and just talking to yourself, you're less distracted than anything else I've ever done in the car. Because I know a lot of people say that, they're like, well, surely when you're talking to yourself, it's more distracting than if you're talking to somebody on the speakerphone. Well, no, it's not. If you've done both, then you've got a good comparison. And I've only ever had my experience of talking to somebody on the phone, clicking the answer button, which is in the car, the same as clicking the record button on the phone. Those two tasks are exactly the same. And then hanging up and pressing the hang up button that's in the car is the same as pressing the button on the phone to stop recording. The difference I find is when you're talking to somebody on speaker in the car, they don't know what you're looking at, and they can be talking and asking you questions, and it can be quite distracting. And I do speak to people all the time in the car. I do most of my phone calls in the car, and yes, it is distracting, the same as talking to a passenger, but not to my opinion of a dangerous distraction. However, it is a distraction, okay? And when you're talking to a passenger, they can actually see the road, they can see what's going on. When you're talking to somebody on speakerphone, they can't, and they can be asking you questions. You can be like, oh, hang on, and it's like when you try and record a video and the kids are trying to talk to you, it's a bit like that. And when I've got the kids in the car, that is the biggest distraction. They're sneezing, there's snot flying everywhere, you're trying to grab a tissue, they're fighting, they're kicking, they're doing God knows what, and that is distracting. When you're talking to yourself, you're in a relaxed state of driving. Your main focus is driving. You're just talking to yourself, like you're doing your affirmations, like you're speaking out loud about a training, practicing a speech, whatever it may be. You're just talking to yourself, and it's quite a calming thing, just talking to yourself. I talk to myself a lot in the car, even when I'm not recording videos. I do my affirmations, I practice talks that I'm going to do, I practice things, I speak, and it is such a relaxed thing to do. A couple of things that I've learned from recording in a car, I've stopped at a traffic light, is not to look at the phone like I am now. I've stopped. Is to just be like you would be talking anyway, and that is one big thing I definitely think needs to change. You know, if people are going to talk to themselves and they are going to have something filming them, they definitely need to not be looking at the camera. I do think it'd be interesting to read this report about filming while driving, because of all the things that most people do, it is the least distracting. More distracting than filming yourself while talking is changing a CD, is fiddling with the sat nav, is talking to the kids, talking to a passenger, speaking on the phone, answering the phone. All these different things are a bigger distraction from my experience of doing all of the things, and from I've probably spoke to about, I'd say about 30 people that have recorded themselves talking to themselves, and they have said it is definitely the least distracting activity of what most people do. The safest thing to do is to do none of them, to not answer your phone, to not talk to a passenger, to not talk to your children, to not change your CD, not click next on the CD, not turn the volume up, not turn the volume down, not fiddle with the sat nav. That is the safest thing to do. However, people do these things, so it's just being sensible, and it's just having that common sense. So I am really interested to see what this report says. This may be the last video that I do record, and if that is the case and it is banned, which could possibly be a good thing. We all resist change, we all hate change, but sometimes change is a good thing. So if this is a good thing, which it may possibly be, you will see that I no longer will be making phone calls in the car either, and most people know that I make most of my phone calls in the car, so that will obviously have to go as well, because to me, making the phone calls is a bigger distraction than speaking out loud to myself and having something record it. And I am concerned about obviously having passengers in the car as well, because that again is more of a distraction than talking out loud. Again, I'm concerned as well about just genuinely just talking out loud and doing my affirmations in the car and practicing speeches, because it is the same. And if anybody's thinking or watching this and thinking, well, you know, it is more dangerous to record yourself talking. Have you tried it? And I'm not suggesting go out there, go and get your camera and go and try it. I'm saying I'm coming from a place of experience from doing the both. And again, it's just my opinion and I am just one person, but from about 30 people I have spoke to and asked, you know, what do you think? You know, not to get into a debate, but just say, you know, I am just one person and this is my feelings. You know, what do you think? And they've all said it's the smallest distraction, just talking to yourself in the car against all of the other things. So that's just coming from a point of view of actually being, having that experience of all of these things. So you definitely need to be wary of making a judgment on something that you haven't personally had any experience of. But if you feel like it is dangerous, yeah, it absolutely is the same as flicking a CD or talking to a passenger. It's on the same level. If anything, it's less dangerous from experience I'm talking about. I'm not for any second saying that I know better than anybody else, because I absolutely do not. I can only speak from experience of my own. Anyway, so if this is the last video I'm making while I'm talking to myself in the car, then it's the start of a new chapter. You will obviously be seeing less videos from me sharing my thoughts, and it will change my business because, again, it will change my business in terms of not being able to answer the phone, taking passengers with me, and you know, just being more productive in these times where, you know, we turn our car into like a mobile university. We turn our car into helping us build our business. So that's my thoughts. I'm sure there might be a couple of people wondering what my thoughts are this morning, and I will read the report when I manage to get my hands on it, and decide from there. I definitely want to continue to lead by example and be safe, and I would like other people to be safe. So I can't make an opinion on it right now without seeing all of the information, but I'm looking forward to doing that, and that is basically my opinion on this. So if I was on the phone right now talking to another person, I'm just talking to myself, I'd be about to press the button to hang up on that phone call, and the button is built into the car. There is a hang up button on the car, so I'm just about to press the button on my phone that stops the record on there. It's the same as if I was about to press the hang up button on the phone. Okay, stay safe.